Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you guys. Glad to be here. Yeah, it's good to have a show tonight because usually this is the time I have off. But since I'm not going to be streaming this week from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, decided to do tonight because Michael's on holiday. But it's good to see you guys. We have Alan Norstrand, Sovereign Soul, PJ Krujek, and Ryan Est in Restream. How are you guys doing?
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
Oh, good.
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, that's why I put on the premiere, just because we weren't doing a show tonight, and because you decided to go at 7, and I'd already decided to put on a premiere. I just went a little bit earlier at 5 and kind of tried to get it all set up for us so it would finish in time. I think I just run over by a minute or so, but all good. It worked.
But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, I did share the link to PJ's channel. Go and subscribe. Really well with it. Tonight we are limited, unfortunately, with time thanks to South African power. So we only have till just before 11. But it's going to be a good show because it's Questionnaire on Biblical Cosmology.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. What are your guys' thoughts on the topic?
Biblical cosmology, I love it because we trust God. So God describes, Moses describes a flat Earth in Genesis, the creation of all the creation of stuff, the beginning of everything. So if we trust God and He says it's flat, well, I'm kind of saying it's flat, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with you there, PJ.
I think it came down for me that a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you believe the Earth is flat because of the Bible." I'm like, no, actually, I came to it without the Bible, and then I went, "Wow, that's crazy, man! The Bible agrees with my observations."
Yeah, exactly. The Bible's just validation.
Right.
That's how we see it.
It's not the cause; it's just validation of it, you know. And other ancient texts and scriptures too. It's like, wait a minute, man. Where's this 3,000 years everybody thinking it's a globe at? Where is that? Well, I don't see it.
Doesn't exist.
That's the funny thing of it. If you actually look at all the history, it's very recent that they're pushing this globe and they're trying to change the history books to say it's been thousands of years when it wasn't.
They'll
That's
go,
agenda.
look, here was a couple of Greek guys hanging out in the bathhouse talking about balls and shit. So that means all of Greece, most of Greece was going, those idiots need
Like
to
the
go
balls.
back up. You know, that's
not gay at all. No, that's not gay at all.
No, just a little joke.
Hey,
Washing each other's backs, yeah.
Yes.
My
That's
ball
just
is bigger than
happiness.
your ball.
by the way, I need my balls washed. By the way,
Then you got the guy coming up and pressing himself. Gravity.
See, that's how they figured out mass
The
attracts
glass.
mass. See, that's how they figured out mass attracts mass. The guy standing with his testicles open.
Oh my goodness, yeah, clanging together.
No.
those plumb bods have a tendency to knock together.
Oh, wow. How are we getting into this conversation?
My balls are attracted to your balls. Isn't that sweet?
No.
So gravity
Well,
is
be a
real.
ball.
That's how people become gay, because of gravity. Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
The two balls attract each other.
Yeah. Oh man. It's crazy. Okay. Let's go say hi to
Well,
everybody in
two
the
screw
chat.
balls do attract each other.
Good to see everybody in the chat. Effie Nation, Geo, Vicky, Jeff Gasshead, and Alan, and Don Logan. Good to see you guys. By the way, Vicky, Alan beat you to it today. He was the first one. He was so proud of it.
Yeah, I was.
Vicky, boys in their balls. Okay.
I like
I think we should.
big balls.
So I've got this guy's channel link in my description. He is a small channel, so if you want to go support him, guys, go and click on the link and subscribe to him. And while you're here, please hit the likes, share the show. I do appreciate everybody, and it's good to see all. Let everybody know we actually got a show tonight, because I know usually the people are looking for Michael and them tonight, and Michael's on
Usually
holiday.
I'm bummed out
Deserted
because they're
us
not
today.
here.
Oh,
Yeah, Michael's deserted us today. So we'll take
Yeah,
over.
Yeah, he's with his partner. It's how Mum's passed it and that. So
Yeah. So we got the votes. I've got 23 votes. Biblical cosmology points to a flat Earth. Yes, 65%, and no, 35%. Hey, Anthony also popped in. Good
who are
to see
those
you.
35%? I want to know who they are.
Yeah. Anthony, if Luch pops in, I'll ask him again for that citation. The thing is, he even said he doesn't have it, so he actually made it
I
up. He
think that
lied.
citation is this. Yeah, I think that's.
He lied. It's as simple as that.
of course,
But that's how they work.
Yeah.
They have to lie to get to try and sound smart, and that's why when you try and ask them, okay, bring up your citations, they can't.
Yeah,
They make shit up.
Well,
he
Yeah,
learned
that's
that from the
fine.
best.
I gotta look for it.
He learned
How
that from
long
the
have we-
best.
Yeah, how long have we been waiting? Exactly. How long have we been waiting for this video from Craigie boy for this refracted hand?
What, over a year already?
You know, exactly.
And it was one that he already made that he says he just put into a video, and that was a year
right.
ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those erroneous zones.
Mhm.
You know the sad part of it all, even as dumb as Sean Hawkins is, he berated Craig on that. He told him he's dumb based on that, and that's from Sean Hawkins.
Well, FTFE, Craig threw him under the bus right at the beginning and said, I want to give a shout out to Sean Hawkins and all 5 of his viewers. And I was like, oh, that's got to hurt, Sean. That's got to
The
hurt.
thing is, Sean Hawkins and FTFE don't like each other
No.
because the other one thinks the other one's the dumber one. The sad
really?
thing is they're actually on par with each other.
Yeah, that link that Vicky's just put in is for the video that Flat's about to put on, just in case she's
Awesome. Thank you very much, Vicky. I appreciate it.
Cheers, babe.
Okay, so I think let's get on to this thing because his video is an hour long.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can't believe it. But I saw just the questions he had in the beginning, which is actually straightforward. So I think let's take the test.
Hi, and welcome back to Biblical Theology,
Guys, hear it fine?
Exegesis, and Hermeneutics, where meaning is always context-driven. I'm your host, John Strazic, and today we'll be finishing up our series here on the questionnaire concerning biblical cosmology. Okay, then coming here, these are the 10 questions to test yourself to see if you have a biblical cosmology or if indeed you have a man-made cosmology. And what we've been doing in this series...
I like that way of looking at it. Do you have a biblical cosmology or a man-made cosmology? Because the heliocentric model is a man-made cosmology.
Of course it is. It's man-made paradigm, isn't it? It's just a concept.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look at his questions, 1, do you believe the Earth is orbiting the sun? Number 2, do you believe the Earth is spinning to create day and night? That's why I said this guy has to be a flat earther. Number 3, do you believe the moon is a reflector of the sun's light? Number 4, do you believe the firmament is just the atmospheric expanse? Number 5, do you believe the sun is a star? Number 6, do you believe the Earth is a planet? Number 7, do you believe that God created the planets? Number 8, do you believe the stars are massive and far, far away? Number 9, do you believe the sun is stationary in relation to the Earth? And number 10, do you believe the Earth is a sphere? Well, do you believe it's a planet and a sphere? It's actually the same question almost.
Yeah.
So, but
What
yeah,
is a
if I'm looking
sphere
at that,
anyway?
I would say the guy's a flat earther.
Or he's getting there.
Or is getting there. You see, this is what we keep telling the people. If you read your Bible, this is the questions you're supposed to ask yourself. If you want to look at the cosmology. And the people don't want to do that.
is can you find your cosmology in the Bible? And probably a little more prying than that. Do you think the Bible has a cosmology? And that's probably going to be a little tougher for some of you to swallow, that the Bible actually does have a cosmology. And it's important to find out what it is. And when you start investigating the biblical text, where you're going to find out that, the Copernican model is foreign to the biblical text.
Ooh. I like that. The Copernican model is foreign to the text. There we go. I see no fault so far what he's saying.
No.
Give it time.
But I mean, why is it so hard for some people to understand that the Bible doesn't teach heliocentrism, and some people just see it straight away and like, yeah, look at this.
Good question. I think it's because they don't read the whole Bible and they don't think about what they're reading.
Or they're just ignoring the parts that doesn't suit their narrative. Because I get a lot from the time when I get a lot from the arguments that you get when you're like, okay, you bring up Genesis or something, and they're like, but yeah, that's just allegorical. The Bible's only allegorical. You guys can't take it literal. You know what I mean?
That's funny. It's only allegorical that the sun was created after the damn daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, God must have got confused with day 4 and day 1, right? I guess.
Yeah.
But it's
See, to me, that's just retarded response. It's just, I'm sorry to say that word, but it's retarded. Come on.
Yeah.
It's them trying to make excuses to not believe
what the Bible says.
The Bible says, actually. Hey, Scott, good to see you, man.
There seems to be a lot of that lately. Like everybody's misconstruing everything in the Bible, trying to say, oh, the Bible isn't real, it isn't true, it isn't blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It's always been true.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been finding out in these questions, such as, do you believe the Earth is orbiting the sun? Do you believe the Earth is spinning to create night and day? Do you believe the moon is a reflector of the sun's light? Do you believe the firmament is just...
Sorry, what's that, Ryan?
I said, no, I don't remember what I said. I forget. Done for.
The atmospheric expanse. Do you believe the sun is a star?
What I said was,
do you believe
how
the Earth is a planet?
Prove it first? Like, if you can't prove that the Earth's already a ball, then why would you even worry about thinking or believing it? You don't need to believe it; just prove it.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's just a good point, though. If you believe the globe Earth is proven, okay, then why are you so? Then why are they so? I'm trying to think of the correct wording.
Worried about
threatened. Why are they so threatened about the flat Earth then?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to believe it. They don't want to accept it.
Then they must see the logic in it.
Well, if you think about it, accepting that means that the government and the whole world has lied to you from the very beginning, the whole time, and everybody is a liar. And that's a difficult thing to accept. I can agree that is difficult to accept, but it's true. It just happens to be true.
It's true. Yeah.
That's the hardest hurdle to get over, I think.
Do you disagree?
No, absolutely agree.
Well,
I'm just making sure.
If created, that means there's God. If there's God, that means I'm accountable for myself. Okay? It's a glorious attempt at lack of avoiding accountability. Okay?
Yeah.
In other words, in true Luciferian fashion, absolute freedom, therefore all do what thou wilt be the whole of the law. Okay? That's what they mean by freedom. And that's not good because it's not freedom for others. So this whole thing about the accountability of yourself and the fact that you are not the top of the pinnacle, okay? You are not the top of the pyramid. You're not the pinnacle of creation, okay? You're up there, but you're not the top, okay? And people can't handle that. Ego is a killer. Ego is a killer.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess I'm lucky that I was abused as a child and that I'm used to being abused. So I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have a problem admitting that I'm being controlled and I'm a slave. What I have a problem with is that when I tell people that truth, and they look at me like, "What are you talking about?" It's like,
I
really?
know.
You don't see it?
You
Yeah, I
get
think you get
fluoride
to, I think you
stare.
get to a point where you just don't care about peer pressure anymore, what people think about you.
Yeah, I pretty much gave on that one. I would think about 8 or 9. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Hey,
I
I
don't
got
really
a
care what it
response from this guy because I wrote him a message, said subscribed and like, we'll be doing a stream on this tonight. He replied
Oh,
back,
boy.
please do, I'm glad that this assisted you, and he sent his email address.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Get his ass on the show.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
get it. Good to
that'd
have
be
him on.
cool. That'd be cool.
But when you do, let
believe
me
that
talk
God
to him.
created the planet?
Sorry? When he comes
But
on
if you do
YouTube.
get him on the show, I want to talk to him.
Okay. I don't think we would attack him though, because he sounds like
No.
Very
I wouldn't be
genuine
rude. I wouldn't be rude.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing, of course.
Do you believe that stars are massive and far, far away? Do you believe the sun is stationary in relation to the earth? And lastly, what we're focusing on here today and wrapping it all up is, do you believe the earth is a sphere? And so when you actually begin to examine the biblical text will speak in such a manner that to think of, if you answered the affirmative in any of these questions, you can't find that cosmology in the Bible.
Yep, it's very true. And there's a reason you can't find that cosmology in the Bible.
Circle of the earth is not a sphere, you smart ass.
Yeah.
I know.
And
they
this
love
is
that
where we
one.
get and this is where we always get the straw man from the people that's trying to defend the globe. Circle is ball. It's fit. No, ball and circle in Hebrew is 2 different words, and ball did exist.
Yeah.
Because what I think it said,
Exactly.
Joshua threw a ball.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the circle of the earth is the closest in the Bible you're going to get to any kind of description of a globe.
Yeah. It also says the 4 corners.
That's the closest.
How can you have 4 corners on a
Yeah,
ball?
exactly.
You can't.
Exactly.
And what does
Hey,
round
Tarek,
mean anyway? I mean,
it's very simple to understand. You can only have 4 corners on a circle because it's 4 quadrants. It's north, east, south, and west.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
On a sphere, it's impossible to be as far as the east is from the west. On a circle,
because they're next to each other.
Yeah. You understand? On a circle, you can be as far as the east is from the west, and you can't on a sphere because you'll just end up meeting each other again.
yeah. And remember that believing in that the earth is a sphere is basically believing that you live in the asteroids game program. That means if you go up to the top, you just come back on the bottom, and if you go to the right, you come back on the left. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, Keith Fern, good to see you, man.
It's continuous loop.
Yeah,
But
life's a Pac-Man game.
This makes me think of when you try and ask people, when on the globe do you automatically turn your feet around? Let's say you dig a hole through the center of the sphere and you jump feet first. Dave's getting very serious here with bringing his pistol out.
Yeah, at what point do you flip over and start facing the other direction?
It's like, he doesn't want me to ask this question.
Or sideways, or even sideways, like you're going to Australia.
Do you get to the middle and start spinning and stuff like that? Or,
Yeah, but think about it. You stand on top of the ball.
Concept.
You dug a hole right through through the earth. Now you jump feet first. At what stage do you come out head first on the other side?
Exactly.
Or I don't think if the Earth was a sphere and it did have gravity, you wouldn't come out the other side. But
right, you'd stick in the middle. You'd stop in the middle.
Yeah.
If you had a tunnel going all the way through, you'd fall and then you just stop. I guess in the middle there.
Exactly.
No, you'd go all the way through and come, and you just keep going back and forth until all the energy was expended. Yeah, basically, until you equal.
Yeah.
Wow.
But since that doesn't exist, we don't have to worry about it.
You yo-yo up and down in the middle.
Oh wow.
Like
And
perpetual
since you
motion.
can't
We all know
find your
what perpetual motion is, but can you prove that it's actually true? I don't think so.
No.
Exactly.
Have faith, Ryan. Have faith. Just believe me.
I will pray for faith, my friend.
Listen, a guy with letters after his name and a pocket protector said so. Who are you? What authority do you have to question?
Wait, let me change my name real quick.
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, I just saw
You just-
Total Recall, the new movie, and they do that.
Oh, really?
They go boring through. They do the jump thing.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do, yeah. And in the little vehicle thing, when they're traveling through through the earth to get to the other side, and once they get to the core, it kind of goes in slow motion. They float, spin round, and they go up
automatically fixes themselves, the orientation somehow.
Yeah.
What's kind of scary is that they could actually fake that on Earth. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
They could create a bunch of tunnels that all led to certain places on the ground, and they could convince you that was true. See what I'm saying? That's a good trick.
In view of in the Bible, then that means you have a man-made cosmology. It's inimical to the biblical text. If you want to be biblical, well, then you got to find out what the Bible has to say about all these subjects, and that's what we've been doing in this series. Okay, then coming here, then putting it all together, what we've done so far. Last week we looked at the text of Amos 9:6, where it said that and his agudato he founded upon the earth. Okay, so this is where the modern, all the modern translations are going to say, and he fastened his vault. He founded it upon the earth. So that's why in these ancient Hebrew cosmologies is that you have a flat earth, and the firmament.
There you go. All these Hebrew cosmology have a flat earth and a firmament.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, Brian Chico, good to see you, man. You guys can stop any time. Just to let you know.
Yeah, of course.
Firmament is firmly attached to the earth, and that's exactly what we read there in Amos. Is that Yahweh built in the in the upper chambers of heaven, his upper chambers, and he founded his vault upon the earth. So that means that the earth is bounded by heaven itself, that is the firmament, and that it's firmly attached to the earth. So that's how you get this, this view of the earth is flat, and then you have this dome structure above it, and then you could, as we read, we saw earlier in Genesis chapter 1, where when God made the sun and He made the moon and the stars, okay, and these all take up various, height differences within the firmament, and we saw that the stars are all up high, they're up, in the highest realm of the firmament, and then down below we see the moon and we see the sun. And these are, different distances above us, but they're all inside of the blue dome.
Okay, that I'm gonna.
Blue?
He's making some claims there, though. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we can assume that it's probably blue, but
Yeah, but I mean also different distances, and obviously he's keeping with the shape of the firmament. If you look at it like this, which is fine, but
Yeah.
are we even sure that it's a dome? I mean, we don't know that, do we? Like, we don't know what the actual shape of it is, do we?
it just says firmament. It doesn't say the shape, though.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I
I was just considering the word vault.
Mm.
Okay.
vault. Yeah.
And not in the context.
Yes, a vault is
of
something to
of
protect
safe.
you, and it would be an arch, yes.
Right. Like a vaulted ceiling. Okay. Have you ever witnessed a vaulted ceiling? It's kind of arched. Okay. So when I see that term vault, I have to consider that word. Now does that mean that I know? No, it doesn't. It's like
I think the vault is more trying to explain that there's a space between the two. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm just guessing, but It seems to me like it's hinting at more like that there's a space between the two. You know what I mean? Not necessarily giving you a.
Scott Gord says, I sent you a message a while back on a debate, but you didn't respond. I didn't see the message. I'm more than happy to debate. Everybody knows that. We can do it tomorrow night.
Definitely.
You guys ready? You guys want to debate tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even have to be against me. It can be against any of the guys on the panel as well.
Okay, here's
you don't want to debate.
I got the definition of vault. Okay.
Yeah.
The first one, a roof in the form of an arch or a series of arches, typical of churches and other large formal buildings, a Gothic ribbed vault.
Yeah.
A large room or chamber used for storage, especially an underground one. But that very first one, a roof in the form of an arch or a series of arches.
So you can say dome if you really want to.
Yeah. That would be the.
Well, I don't have a problem with it.
It's a series of arches. A dome is a series of arches in all directions. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Moomin Rod. Sorry, good to see you, man. So yeah, Scott Gog, if you want to debate, more than welcome, mate. Tomorrow night's open, and obviously I'm gone the whole weekend, so you can even cut. And
I was going to say, of course, he's welcome to show up on mine. I have the panel open. We get asked all kinds of cool stuff, like what's under the earth, and it's like, well, we've only been able to go down. That's because the tools got too hot. Yeah, that's right, and that's why.
But I loved how I was leading him to it's not, and then he did exactly what Craig did when I'm saying that's dishonest. He's saying, no, but now you're calling me dishonest. It's like, no, I never said that. But that's what they do. They try and they put words in a person's mouth because they got nowhere to go. Just like we're explaining, it can't penetrate further. They say, "No, but you guys are making it sound that they can't go further." No shit, Sherlock. Of course they can't.
I mean, if you got a drill, and the drill is too soft for the material you're going to go in, it's not going to penetrate. And what's going to happen is the drill is going to become very, very hot. And if you keep going, it's going to start glowing. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And it's not going to make it, and there's no penetration into the material. That was what we're telling you.
Malleable,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Underground Sun, good to see you, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Scott says he'll take on the whole panel.
That's also cool. If you want to, we're really more than happy to chat with you, man. And yeah, send an email again, then we can do it. But yeah, so far then tomorrow.
Scott's a cool guy. He's all right
Scott's
for a baller.
But yeah, guys, if you want some exciting debates where some great streams where the Globers show up most of the time and they're usually as dumb as FTFE, go on Sovs. It's every morning when I wake up and do my exercises now, I see some idiotic globe on there.
Yeah.
It's like they're all on your side of the plane, mate. What's going on?
They are drawn to me like flies on Scheiße.
Because the light side of life. It's like a moth drawn to the light. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People are too scared to come on here for some odd reason.
Okay, which Amos says that he fastened to the earth. Okay, and we looked at that, but we know from Genesis 1:14 and 15 that God put the sun, moon, and stars inside of the firmament. So in the firmament part of the heavens, which would be the second heaven, and then the first heaven would be from the surface of the earth up to the highest, cirrus clouds, and then above that we're going to start to relegate to the second heavens, which is the realm where the ether begins.
Oh, sorry. The Bible did say nothing about the ether there.
Hey, Bobby, any evidence of pressure without a container?
Exactly. He's a troll.
Yeah, that's troll.
Big troll.
Patience, guys, mate. Bobby Steele's in. Any evidence of a container? Yes. We got it on screen. How's that?
Yeah.
Where I don't see it.
Back where
Luch also jumped in. The Earth is observed at sea level.
Since
our favorite troll.
I've got this T-bone steak, but since I haven't seen a picture of the cow that it came from, it must not be steak.
It doesn't exist
until I see a picture of the cow that it came from.
Well, I could stick my head up a cow's ass to see how good the meat is, but
it's just
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Idiotic. I mean, it got so bad for me on Soul Show today that I had to even do another analogy. Like you walk on this other road, and all of a sudden you see this burnt shard piece of steak. What is
who's gonna win that Tyson fight?
No, but what's the deduction when you find a burnt shard piece of steak on the side of the road? Something had to have burnt it. Did that mean there was heat energy to burn it?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. But what caused it to burn? I don't know. But one thing I do know, heat burns. Heat energy caused it to burn. Without having the heat energy, you can't have the burnt steak. Just like you can't have the burnt steak if you didn't have the cow first. You can't have gas pressure if you didn't have the container first. It's not hard to understand, people.
You need your backside for that part, I think.
Yeah, LJ, what's up, man? LJ, all steaks were made in the lab.
He might be right.
Good. Lab-grown meat.
Although that seems like a lot longer of a process than just growing the beef.
Yeah. Steaks are really just pork chops because they refract, it says Moon Rider.
Oh, nice.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
It is.
So, Luch, what's up, man? I hear you've become a flat earther now.
No.
Again.
Who told
Well,
you
that's what your name says. That's what your name says. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why else?
You're declaring it by your name. Yeah.
Nah, I just did that for fun.
Is that really your name, Lou? Or is your name like
No.
Luca.
Yeah, Luca. Luka.
Then how come whenever I called you Luca in the beginning, you told me that wasn't your name?
Huh?
Or maybe it wasn't you that said that, but somebody told me that wasn't your name. I said, yeah, that's what he told me. His name is Luca.
Yeah, it's Luka. Just to clarify.
Oh, cool. I like your name, though. Luca's a cool name.
Thank you.
Cool name, yeah. Okay. Let's carry on.
Okay.
And up to the top of the dome that we all live underneath. And remember, this is David's metaphorical tent. So if you have a tent, David's, and Isaiah, these prophets both speak of, one a prophet, one a king. They speak of the our universe as a tent that we all live inside of. Well, you don't pitch a tent over something round. You pitch a tent on flat ground. Okay, and that this is all underscoring the notion that the Bible presents a flat type earth, and we know that water is level. Whether it's it's in your bathtub, or if it's in the pool, or if it's in a pond.
Speaking of level, I'm actually busy with a video based on water level, just for FTFE, and LJ. It's based on a super chat LJ did on MDD. So shout out to LJ. It's going to be a cool video. Glenn Sells, good to see you. 2 Celestial Poles, hello, good to see you too. Glad you could make it.
We should send him a lot.
2 poles.
Yeah.
Did he say 2 poles?
2 poles.
Wow.
On a sphere.
Double danger.
Nice.
Yeah, because you get 2 poles when one's not enough.
That gives you a double donger.
You only got one, you'll walk in circles. So hey.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You see the one pole would be akin to having a how can I put this, having a 4 GT. 2 poles would be akin to having a Bugatti Veyron.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
It's easier to hang from 2 poles than 1.
But there's definitely 4 poles, just so you know. 1 for each corner.
Hey TMM, good to see you. Yeah, guys, this is definitely a subject that's not a lot of people are actually interested in for some odd reason. But
it's not good to see him. Flats is a troll. He just came into troll.
I have to be polite and say hello. You know what I mean?
I know. It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, hello. Goodbye.
Ryan.
Wait, who?
I'm always teasing, but
who cares?
Well, you know what?
Actually, there's 38 people watching TMM.
We can always make this.
people
We can
watching
always
that.
make this more exciting.
Right.
Why don't the
Too
Globies come in and debate us on biblical cosmology?
Exactly.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
bring
Why
your
don't the
resources.
We're asking for the Globers, not flat earthers. So.
Hey!
It probably isn't. It probably is.
You're definitely a flat earther.
Should I change my name again?
Luke is like, hey.
Yeah.
It should be flat, Luca.
Luch can do the flat earth side. We'll put you up against Luch. He'll do wonders for the flat earth side, won't he?
Oh, I hope TMM's not
Just
Timmy.
pretend.
I hope
debate.
Just pretend you're in the globe, Luch. Just pretend you're in the globe, and you'll give out all the flat earth proofs. Just like that.
I hope Timmy's not Tim though. TMM's not Timmy. Oh man.
He tried to come on last night, and I was like, no, I'm not in the mood for you. He was Globe Lover Bob last night. I said, no, I'm not in the mood for you tonight. Joe Cool.
Globe Lover Bob.
Yeah, Globe Lover Bob, a.k.a. Timmy, a.k.a. Liam, a.k.a. Formula One fan or
Then
whatever
Bob.
the hell he is. Doesn't know where he lives, doesn't know who he is.
More.
That guy's just dishonest. That's all he really is.
What's it look like?
So yeah, I don't think we need to go through that guy's whole video though, because he's actually just agreeing with everything we say. So there's not really much to review on.
No, there really isn't. He's a flat earther. He just
Content though.
That's it. That's it.
So yeah, we can make this exciting. Come on, Globies.
I had Craig
pestering
at me in my DMs on Twitter, claiming, "Oh, read the comments. What, on your video? Yeah, you got a bunch of retarded sycophants. Read the room, baby. Look on the comments on the modern day debate. You know, there's no big win. The only person really speaking up for you is you under a sock account. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So he goes, when's the next one? I said, oh, hang in there, buddy. It's coming. I said, we're working on a format. It's going to take the wind right out of your sails, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I think it's a brilliant idea.
I'm a troll.
Definitely.
Well,
I troll anybody who talks crap.
People,
you used to be the Cookie Monster.
with that kind of dynamics, you'll see how frustrated Craig would get. No, like he can't speak, he can't talk over the top of it. He has to wait. You'll see his frustration, man.
Yep, that eliminates that, man. And both sides do it. One side a little bit more than the other, but both sides do it. And if you eliminate that, that's actually a tactic, because if you watch them, they wait till you're about to bring it all together, and then they interrupt you and go on about some little aspect of what your setup was to get to the point.
Exactly.
Totally derail you off it. Yeah. This format's not going to allow that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's an excellent idea.
Definitely well worth it.
So, I'm a Glober, so.
Okay, for just tonight, we can pretend you're a Glober. That's fine.
My name
Not a problem. You can do what Arwen used to do. Arwen used to have an alternative personality called Baldwin. So you could do that as well. I mean, you could be our flat earther, baller sort of thing, but we know it hard.
The Earth is observed flat at sea level.
Amen.
That's my name.
Brilliant.
Amen, but what do you see when you go to the ocean? You see level.
Well done.
At sea level, it's observed flat.
Isn't that interesting?
I don't think anyone denies that.
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh, they all do.
Nope. Nope.
They do.
Well, you say it's flat, but then when you get on a larger scale, you suddenly claim that it's curving.
Yep.
Yo,
As you
Jeff.
go
But there's a
higher,
problem there.
you start to
A
see-
line doesn't curve. If you read what a line means in the dictionary, it says a line is straight. It doesn't have any curves. So your thing about horizon line, the horizon couldn't be a line. If it wasn't a line, it wasn't stipulated that way. So you're wrong in all areas. Sorry, dude.
No. Hey,
No is not a response to
Cosmology.
I'm wrong.
Flat Earth cosmology.
Even Scott says looks flat at sea level. I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It doesn't not only look
We
flat,
have a lot of
it is
concessions from ballers tonight, guys. What's going on? We're not even trying.
But there are some that claim that they can see the curve down in the beach.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
get those. Akinator.
That would be called mental illness, my friend.
Yeah, or bad eyesight.
Okay, I'll go with that too.
But how's Craig trying to give a definition? I actually brought it up today. I'm going to get that definition that he brought up for horizon.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can confirm
Remember.
play whatever he said is true.
Hmm.
You don't understand what he brought up. Literally was making our point.
How do you know when Craig's lying?
And bingo, what's his
He makes
name?
a
Oh,
sound. That's when you know Craig's lying. He opens his mouth.
Oh yeah.
Let's say.
Lou, at
or
what
his, yeah, when his lips part, that's usually.
what
What's
altitude
up?
is the Earth starting to curve?
Okay.
At what height?
Can you show us?
Yeah.
Like at what height you start to notice the curvature?
We've yet to see it.
Okay, I'm going to quickly read the etymology of the word, and then Luch, since you say you can agree with Craig that it's true. This citation. This is the one he brought up.
boy.
Let's hear it.
But I'm
Sounds
saying
fun.
you 100% agree with it. You are backing him up on the citation.
Well, I haven't heard it yet.
No, but I'm saying you do it because I'm fine with him backing it. I'm backing it up with him.
Careful.
Sure, then.
Okay. Remember, he tried to say horizon, kaiklos, okay, means bounding circle. He started off by going Latin, horizontum. What does horizontum in Latin mean, guys?
Horizontal.
I mean, in English, it would be horizon.
Ah, horizontal.
Yeah.
It's exactly that, horizontal. And then remember it
Yep.
goes here, IMOC, for limit of view. The apparent horizon is distinguished from the celestial or astronomical horizon.
And
His whole
bingo, what's his
citation-
name? Oh,
Yeah, his whole citation was literally saying the horizon is horizontal. It has a limited circle. So in other words, your field of view. And it's a limited view of angle, which is what you're saying. And it's a
angle.
apparent position.
Meaning it's not real. Just what you see.
Yes. I agree.
So apparent position then.
Yeah,
So you would agree it's not physical, it's optical.
it's both.
Uh-oh.
Both. Explain how it can be both.
Well, since we absolutely know that there is a physical point where the Earth curves, but we can't actually see it because of the atmosphere. So it's
So you
both.
can't
Wait,
see
what?
it. Do you hear
Why
what
wouldn't
you
you be
just
able to
said?
see through it?
That
You said you knew.
he absolutely knew that.
But you're guessing.
Yeah, you said you knew. How do you know?
Well, since the Earth is curved, there has to be a physical point
That's
where
you're presupposing.
it
Oh, that's
starts.
bias.
That's a presupposition.
It's a presupposition
it's
for
physical.
sure.
Presupposition.
But at the same time, it's optical because we can't, because we see through the atmosphere, which means refraction and stuff.
What you're saying is the Earth is a globe because it's a globe. In effect, that's what you're saying.
The horizon is an effect, yeah, that's right.
No, I'm saying, in effect, what you're saying is a globe is a globe because it's a globe.
What?
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
In effect, that's what you're saying. A globe is a globe because of your presupposition. You're saying a globe is a globe because it's a globe.
And it's
the globe. We have an horizon, therefore it's a globe.
God.
But you said because you know it's a ball because it's a globe, therefore horizon. You said it the other way around. So you catch 22 in yourself. That's my point. You're saying it's a globe because it's a globe. That's your evidence.
By the fact that we have an horizon, we know it's a globe.
Dude,
wait, what?
This is the same circular logic that these archaeologists use. Yeah. They say we can tell the age of an object based on the level that we find it in. And if you wait a couple of minutes and then ask them, say, well, how do you know the age of the level? They'll say, we know the age of the level because of the things that we find in it. And it's like, what?
Yeah, that's circular reasoning.
That makes sense, right?
That's
no.
No, it doesn't make sense. That's the part you don't get, brother.
That's why you're saying. It's like saying gravity causes gravity. It's the same type of thing. Globe is a globe because it's a globe because it's a globe. That's what you're saying.
It's moving because it's moving.
It's moving because it's moving. Aye.
It's black because it's black.
Yeah, gravity exists because some things go down.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna.
Haven't you seen them go down?
Yeah, some things do. Other things go up.
Gas go
Thank
down.
you, Cherry Papa. Good to see you. And you too. What's up?
Well, bend over and I'll show you.
Yes, like
if I throw a ball, it goes up and then down.
Chilling. What? Chilling. There's a guy called Baldwin. There's Eric Baldwin. What kind of drugs is he on? Huh?
Arwen was Baldwin.
Yeah.
Drugs, really?
Has anybody seen if Arwen sent his CV in for a job application yet?
His curriculum vitae. No.
Hey, Liv, what's up, man? Good to see you. But yeah, at the end of the day, you guys can't provide any evidence for a physical horizon. By definition, a horizon is not physical. So you guys can't even use the definition to even make your argument. You can't observe it because you say it looks flat. What is there actually for the horizon for the globe?
Some CGI pictures from NASA, maybe?
Pretty pictures, fair enough, but not real.
Come on, doesn't any globies want to have some fun in here?
He's scared to death. Where's that guy that kept getting timed out?
So the lowest I could find was being able to perceive the Earth curve at 20,000 feet.
20,000? I got a picture. I was at 38,000.
Really? I've been at 45,000 feet. Didn't see it, bro.
I'm gonna share a video of the horizon from a rocket of 253 kilometers up.
I've been at
and show me where you see the curve.
It's still flat.
Assuming everything's perfect, you know.
Yeah.
That
when I was 11, I was on the Concorde.
Good conditions, you know. Everything lines up.
Oh, really? You got to ride in the Concorde? That's cool.
Yeah.
Did the plane stretch while they were flying?
Was it cool? I know they're fast.
It was pretty cool. I was only 11, so it's it's hard to remember everything. But I would have noticed if things were like, "Hey, look, it's round out the window." Nobody said that.
You know what's funny is I rode on a plane every year when I was a kid to see my dad, and every year I would ask someone, like, "Isn't it weird how it looks so flat, but yet they claim it's a ball?" And everybody would always say, "Yeah, you're right." Nobody ever argued with me my whole childhood. But then as soon as I got older and now I say that, they start arguing with me right off the bat. It's so funny. It's crazy.
They start get on the beat.
They won't lie to a little kid, but they'll lie to an adult. It's so weird.
So I want to show you guys something. This rocket reached 253 kilometers, and I want Luch. Can you point out to us where the sphere is, please? Okay. Remember, you said you can see it at 20,000 feet. This is at 253 kilometers. Okay.
That's
rocket
European
being
for miles.
Yeah.
But the 20,000 feet was assuming everything was perfect.
I don't think we had to assume anything. We just looked at it.
Nope.
No, we're not assuming anything.
Okay. Oh, would help if I actually show you guys. No, but showing. There we go.
If you were going to identify a body, would
That
you rather
is
do it
spinning.
with your own eyes, or would you just trust someone?
Okay, there we go. Re-entry phrase. Okay.
How high is that?
253 kilometers. How high is that in
253 is in miles. That's 157 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, 83,000 feet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
That's pretty flat, dude.
Yeah.
That's me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's a further distance up.
Now, if it curves beyond that, then there's something wrong. Because I mean, you can see that thing that you call space dot there.
And notice, guys, this is going through the center of frame, and this is just the one.
Yeah.
And this is also assuming that the distance they're giving us is correct.
Is correct as well, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I was gonna
buy
say,
that it's 253 kilometers. I don't buy that.
Yeah, sometimes I also wonder when it comes to that. Look at this, guys. Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
It actually goes cave there for a second.
Notice that it's not curving downwards.
No. The horizon.
Oh, that,
and it's not turning convex either.
No, it's staying straight.
Isn't that interesting?
Video in the private chat.
And the rocket's even straight. See, the rocket doesn't have curves like all those videos you see on NASA either.
So 253 kilometers, guys, of flat horizon. Yeah, I'll stick it in the.
Yeah, make sure you post that because I want to save it.
Because I did put in my community. Let me quickly get again. Because he's still got a small channel as well.
Yeah,
he's only got 114 subscribers, this guy.
I'm calling bullshit on that height.
I am too. I don't think it's
that.
Yeah, it seems a little too high.
I'm so popular on YouTube.
You see, the thing is, I'm very skeptic when it comes to the heights that they give on any rocket, actually.
And the speed.
Yeah.
And because you know what's really bothering me, though? Look at the size of the clouds and the continent stuff. Doesn't that look eerie familiar than what the ISS tells us at over 400 kilometers?
Yeah.
So someone's lying.
Yeah.
Maybe they just got confused.
My son.
It's so
Well, they
funny.
can put any number on the screen they want. Height, speed.
Yeah.
What we should actually do is compare another
CGI.
video that's similar from a different subject or a different person. Or a different...
Scott says, "How come that photo isn't CGI? It's still not. It's not CGI. It was a video, and they weren't in a nature violation space vacuum." This is one thing I tried to get to the Globies to understand. It's not the height that's the issue. It's that you're claiming it's going to a place that violates natural law. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on, about that.
Hey, Aro, good to see you. Yeah, definitely. Imagine,
Or admit that thermodynamics are bullshit.
And horizon is rising relative to the eye level. Why is the horizon appearing relative to eye level, guys, if it's supposed to be falling away?
Because
so, Luch, what do you have to say about that video?
Well, I mean, if refraction is true, doesn't it curve upwards? So maybe that causes some of it, or maybe it's, I don't know. I'm kidding, of course.
He says nothing about space violates natural law. Everything about space violates natural law. We've been through this many times.
A vacuum does not exist, my friend.
Exactly. Have you noticed how not one Globie has had the balls to come in? Excuse the pun.
Well.
That's what I said earlier. I said that I think that the NASA's anthem should be Big Balls by AC/DC.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say. Definitely, bro. Definitely.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
Was that camera fisheye lens or not on the rocket?
Sorry?
Obviously not.
Was the
Luke.
camera fisheye or not?
No.
Obviously it was
If it was
not.
a fisheye, you'd see it curving and changing it.
You would have seen distortion right through there, and there was no distortions. This was a rectilinear lens.
When they do
Because
use the fisheye, when they
fisheye
do
are
use Luke,
commonly
listen
used
to me,
on,
Luca. Watch slowly. Go back and watch Baumgartner's jump, his Red Bull jump, where they supposedly saw the curvature of the Earth. Then you'll see that the Earth turns into a cup.
And he was
and
just
then
over
gets
one
straight,
state.
turns into a ball again, and then turns into a flat, and then turns into a cup as he falls. Depending on the way that the lens is looking. When you're using a fisheye lens like that, it's designed for a wide angle view, and only across the center of that lens is where you're getting a wide angle view. The rest is heavily distorted, but they're giving you that wide angle through a distortion in the lens in the first place. The film corporations came out with a way of doing that back in the 60s, and they called it Panavision. And the way they fixed the distortion is they cut the top and the bottom off of the frame so that all you saw was a letterbox, big long letterbox style of the.
That's how we got movies in the first place, the letterbox part.
Yeah, look at this. You see this? Look at that.
And that's
Big
Arizona or
curve.
something. The
And it's
Earth is
because it
So
allows you to see more
that's
of
a
a field of
fisheye,
view
right?
without as
Yeah.
much.
Oh, someone's trying to join, but we're full, yeah.
Hey, I'll drop out.
Let's do it.
That's Planet New Mexico. He's over. I just want to point that out. That it's Planet New Mexico.
Yeah,
And also pointed that he landed.
And there's no
when he
ocean
jumped.
in New Mexico, by the way.
There was no Coriolis. Oh man. Oh, Ellen left. Okay. Shot Ellen, you rock, man. We'll see who's gonna try and come in now. I'm just trying to see
The
where
only
it shows
flat
the
part of the
picture.
video is when he opens the door in the back.
Yeah, and I'm looking for that one.
Oh, that's what you're looking for?
It's already out. Ah. So maybe I have to look for another.
It's like right at the beginning before you jump.
No, this is a. Let's see if there's another one I can. There we go.
And they also around it shows a regular camera behind it.
Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Luch, can you see outside? Now this, they can't have a wide angle lens because they're inside the capsule. Does that look curved?
Come on. It'll be like incredibly hard to tell, even if it was fisheye. That it
Right.
was curved.
It's not the point, though. Just watch. Just watch, Luke.
Hey, Scott. Good to see you, man. What's up?
You're looking through a window,
Can you guys hear me?
and it's
Yeah.
very.
Can you?
That's
bright.
an open door, Luke.
Trying to do headphones.
Luke,
That's not the point. It's an open door.
that's an
Okay,
open hatch, Luke. It's not a window. It's open to the
Okay, it's an
outside.
open hatch,
Yes.
Hey, Captain Caveman. Good to see you, man.
but it's very bright.
So, Scott.
So it would be incredibly difficult to tell from just this picture that if it was a curve or not.
Why?
Because it's not set up in a way that would capture a curve.
It's because it's
You
convenient
see-
to his argument.
You see, the thing is that Earth too big when they want it to be.
Here's the thing, though. That jump.
But compare that to
It wasn't meant
that.
to prove that the Earth was a ball, so none of the cameras would have been set up in a way that would prove that the Earth was
You don't
a
think so,
ball.
huh?
Because the jump was just to promote Red Bull. Or
Have you ever heard of the
something, I don't
film?
know.
The film, what do they call it? Forget what it's called, but it's the film industry or whatever. There's this group that gets together, and everybody who puts film on TV has to go through them. You know that, right? So they could literally filter everything you put on TV.
Filter.
So can you see
and
that?
make sure that it's
there?
curved so that it matches what they want you to believe, smarty pants.
Yeah.
Get it?
So you can see that curve there, Lou.
Yeah.
Is that very over? How can I put it? over. I can't think of the word, but it's too much curve.
Well,
That's one state. That's part of one state in the United States that you're seeing right there.
well, I don't know if that is too much or not.
That's
Trust
far
me, it
too
is.
much. And
How big do you
this,
think the United States is, Luke? That's one state out of 48 contiguous states. One state.
And a smaller
That's
size one.
showing the whole curvature of the Earth. So how big would America have to be in order to have that much curvature on one of the 48 contiguous states?
Can you go
Complete the
back
curve.
to that picture?
Oh my God!
That
Earth's a
still
cup.
shot of United
no, I just wanted to
States
point
that-
out that Earth's become all of a sudden concave.
with that. Yeah, well, can you go back to that other still image with the United States in it?
He doesn't want to talk about that. Oh,
Yeah, that one.
That's one state.
Let's say.
Oh, what the hell? I didn't press play. There we go. Can you see any
Wow.
water there, Luch?
I didn't press that.
Exactly.
Any water?
Yeah. Can you
No.
show me the ocean?
It's kind of close.
Oh, yeah.
So
But
yeah,
that's what I'm
this is
saying. Does that
probably a
curve-
fish island.
Does
Yeah.
that curve comport with all of your model?
Well, no, because it's
No,
a
it doesn't.
fish
Exactly.
island.
That's the whole point. It's optical. It's not physical.
But it's a
Remember,
fish
you
island.
said. Remember, the original argument was you can see curve from 20,000 feet up. Now I'm showing
Yeah.
places from much, much higher than that. And the first one I showed, no curve. Now we're showing optical curve because they're using fisheye lens.
But who knows that fish islands exaggerate the curve
That's flat.
that's already
No
there.
kidding.
So
Bingo.
You
That's
know.
what we've been trying to tell you, brother. That's
the
what we've been
curve
trying to tell you the whole.
the curve would need to be already there for the fisheye to exaggerate it as much
No.
as it does.
No. A fisheye makes a curve. Have you ever seen someone use an Insta360
If
with a
fisheye
pole?
probably doesn't make a curve.
It does. Literally, what it does, it
it
warps
does.
the image.
You ever been in a fun house?
Do I need to break out my damn camera and show it to you?
Luca, have you ever been in a fun house at a carnival? And they have those crazy mirrors that can make you look like you're big and fat or make you look like you're all skinny and shit. That's all due to warping the surface of the mirror. Okay. And so it causes the image to distort. Okay. So the more curvature you have on a lens, okay, the more you're going to distort the image. This is why people with glaucoma have trouble with their sight, because they're getting a distorted image to their brain because their lenses have popped and curved more than what they should. Okay. There's pressure back behind there. Anytime you curve a lens, all lenses are curved. That's how they work. Your eyes have a curved lens as well. But the more you increase that curve, the more distortion you get. If you look inside of a lot of your telescopes, it uses a concave mirror. Okay. A concave mirror is going to have an effect of not only magnification, but distortion. It's going to make all kinds of stuff look like balls, even if
Can you
it's
see
not.
what? Yeah, exactly. Can you see what's on screen, Rich? You see how distorted it is?
Wow,
Yeah, it's using a
that's very
Insta360.
distorted.
It's got a fisheye lens, yeah. And that's exactly what you're seeing.
Oh, but
with
that's
those other
normal. That's the
lenses.
Earth right there.
But that's what we would predict on the globe model, you see.
I'm just gonna
Damn, that boy had a big head.
No, it really was that big. It wasn't an optical effect. It really had
Damn. Got that idea.
that big head.
Yeah,
So,
poor kid can't hardly
Scott's
get
in the
up in
house.
the morning. His head's so big.
Yeah, does Scott want to say anything?
Yeah.
Hello, Skull.
I mean, it's definitely a fisheye lens on the outside. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So like it's kind of if you're going.
What's your thoughts though on like horizons? Are they physical or just optical?
I mean, okay, so like if you show a diagram of a horizon based on a globe Earth, it's like a physical thing, but it changes depending on where you are, if that makes sense. Like where you are in the Earth. It's not constant. Like everyone's horizons is different from one another.
So if I have a bowling ball, can it physically change?
Can the ball physically change? I mean, if you're like a really tiny, if you're like an
once
ant
they mold it
or something.
Once they mold the ball,
like something. I mean, like does the ball, the shape of it change?
Yes.
The radius.
Like once it's molded, once it's hardened into a bowling ball, does it change?
I'm gonna say no.
Good man.
I mean, yeah, it's a fixed shape, unless if you like smash it or something. But I'm assuming we're not going for that.
Yeah.
So when we see a video where it changes its shape as the camera moves up and down, parallel or in cahoots to the horizon, supposed horizon, then what does that tell you?
It's getting like further away. I don't think I understand the question. I'm not really good with like camera stuff. That's not my forte. My forte is physics.
Well, I challenge people that really do doubt this to get themselves go get one of your cameras, and if you've got one that has lenses, and order yourself a fisheye lens. They're very expensive, of course, but I'm sure you can find one used on eBay or something. Find yourself a fisheye lens, and then go around and look through it and take some video with it, and then see how much it distorts.
No, I understand that a fisheye lens distorts stuff.
So,
like, I understand. There's no doubt about that.
So, we have the horizon at like 3 miles, right?
The horizon at what?
3.4 miles or something? Is that how far away the horizon is?
I mean, yeah, it sounds about right. It depends on like how tall you are.
Yeah,
on the height of the observer, dude.
It's
how tall you are.
Yeah. It's so that 3.4 miles would be the physical horizon, but we can't always see it because of refraction and atmospheric conditions. So we're never gonna see the physical horizon. We're only going to see an optical horizon.
Does that sound very contradictory to you, Luke?
if we remove the atmosphere,
and how we equalize that is that the ocean is flat.
Okay, I got a question for you, Luke.
The atmosphere, then we would see the physical horizon.
Okay, I got a question for you, Luch and Scott. Then, if by definition a horizon is apparent, that means you can see it. How can you make a claim for a physical horizon that you can't see?
Exactly.
Well, we know that has
but you
to
can't
be
see
one.
it.
No,
I mean, I live.
No.
I live 10 minutes from the ocean. And every time I go to the ocean, I mean, I see like where the sky meets the water. That's the horizon. So like,
it's apparent. Yeah, it's apparent position. But that's what I'm trying to say. That's what a horizon is. It's an apparent position. It's optical. You can see it. But you guys are claiming
we can test it
there's
to see if it's
physical horizon that you can't see.
Right.
There must be a physical horizon.
Not that you can see.
Why must?
It's not a horizon.
What do you mean, like a physical horizon? You mean like a place that you can just go to?
No, the horizon doesn't exist. It's all in your eye.
It's always optical.
This way.
I mean,
I can have a book here, okay? We can imagine this.
An imagination.
That book.
It's only in your position that you're going to see it that way, right?
Let's just make this book, for instance. Okay, it's flat now. The apparent horizon from you on the camera would be this point here, where the sky and the ground is appearing to meet. The curve has got nothing to do with it. The horizon is not physical, okay? It's just the apparent position where you see where it looks like the sky and the floor is touching. They're not physically touching. That's what
now
horizon.
lower it down a little bit. Okay. Now look what happens. We've increased our field of view. The horizon moved now because we increased our field of view. The bottom portion of your field of view, as the horizon comes up relative to your eye level, now you can't see across that flat. You can't distinguish anything there. That has blocked off your entire field of view. The horizon is blocking it up. Therefore, you're going to see bottom-up obstruction as things move away from you because things...
You're not a computer. You don't see every image of every direction all the same
Now,
time.
when you stand higher, when you get up higher, you can bring that object back into view because you've increased your field of view. And if you go a little higher, you're going to see that the horizon that you thought the boat was going over is well beyond the boat. You're not looking over a ball. You can't see around corners.
No.
Wait a minute, I can.
If the Earth was flat, then we would eventually find the place where the Earth ends.
What do you mean?
Like,
Are you talking about like the edge of the Earth?
Miss Mud Queen Bee said in chat, if you just keep walking, you might find it.
Yeah, the thing, you know what's the irony of that? The reason she's saying that, because as you move, it's moving as well. The more you move, it moves position as well.
Yeah, but
I believe you would call that sarcasm, my friend.
Move, and we would
Carrying a flat.
Yeah, it's sarcasm, without a doubt. I know exactly what you meant.
Listen, there's a lot of people have died in the desert.
Wouldn't move.
A lot of people have died in the desert, Luke.
Reach the end of the Earth.
A lot of people have.
Luke,
listen to me. A lot of people have died in the desert because they see something and they go, "Oh, it's just right over there." And an hour and a half later, walking through the hot sun, drying out, it's still just right over there.
Yeah, it's more.
Okay.
Don't you believe it?
Because the body gets hot and the brain is confused.
The plane is confused. How does the plane have consciousness?
The brain.
Oh, brain. I'm sorry.
The brain gets confused because it's too hot and it starts to see things that isn't actually there.
Well, dehydration is a real thing, but I don't think that's what he's talking about.
No, the object is there, Luke. The object is there, but because of where you're at, you assumed it to be a different size and a closer distance. Yeah. Because there's nothing of reference. There's nothing of reference to compare it to.
We can do it. You can do it this way. You can actually try and do this experiment yourself. You can walk out, well, actually demonstration, not experiment. You can try, say, okay, I can see in the distance, I can see the horizon. I'm going to take this flag and I'm going to stick it there where the horizon is. Now you walk towards that position. Tell me where you're going to know to stick that flag, to know that's the position you saw when you were wherever you saw the horizon at.
Yeah.
Well, they say it's roughly 3 miles or 3.4 miles.
Yeah, but now you've walked 3 miles away, and the horizon has moved another 3 miles away from you.
Yeah.
Get it?
The Earth isn't flat.
Is that your rebuttal?
There you go. Keep telling yourself that, my friend. I know. It's difficult.
It's an optical position.
Everything's telling you the opposite, and you just can't get it.
Exactly.
Imagine a dog chasing its tail over and over, like you're trying to bite your own tail. Okay? Mm-hmm. As he's trying to get to move the tail's moving away from him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Because his arse is moving with him.
I think that's what this argument's become. We're just going in circles.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we're trying to.
The dog chasing its tail. Yes, exactly.
But you see why it's got to this. It's because we're trying to explain to you guys it's an optical phenomena. It's not physical. You guys are claiming this optical phenomena is physical, and that's what you base your globe upon.
Well, like I think so. Like what you said with the flag, like you can go to where the horizon was when you were 3.4 miles ago. Like it's a physical place, but like I think we're just getting confused on terminology here. Like I think we're all agreeing that the horizon is something that you can see, but you like I think we're just getting confused on terminology here. Like
YouTube has a good point. Somebody should read that.
Oh, it's a cute dog.
This is Moon Shadow.
Here, I'll do it. Reading about a multivitamin. Look at what it says. Much easier to take compared to traditional large brown smelly torpedo multivitamin tablets that get stuck in your throat. Right. Yeah. It's just a way of changing the words around. You get it.
I know Vicky's got to start swooning when she sees that dog.
Yeah. But I mean, this is why we see things like the black swan as well. You can stand on exactly the same position and the weather will change the position of the horizon. You didn't move, you didn't change your altitude, you did nothing. You just stood there and watched the horizon change altitude.
Yeah. That's reflection, right?
Yeah, but which shows it's not physical.
Well,
Roger Ledwell, thank you very much for your $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. Says Craig knows what that's like. Yes, definitely. Thank you for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it, man. You rock. Moon Shadow.
I use the old English. There's importance in
With the
the
E
right
at the end,
spelling.
yeah. Almost thought you said moonshine.
I think that's ye olde English.
Mm-hmm. Which was actually developed for the King James Bible. A lot of people don't know the English language that you speak originally was developed for the King James Bible.
Did you also know that the guy who helped put together the Bible also wrote another book about other things?
Demonology. King James wrote a book on demonology. Yes, he did.
Isn't that weird? That's weird.
He was also a well-known cross-dresser and pederast. And in fact, Sir Walter Raleigh was locked in the Tower of London for referring to him as Queen James.
Cool, James. Hey, what's up, Mr.
goodness.
Research? Good to see you, man. Thank you. Glad you could make it. But yeah.
Isn't it funny how the truth is actually really stranger than fiction?
I still find it very odd how people can have different views on exactly the same thing, even though there's straightforward definition for something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why we have the definition, but that's why it's so difficult to get science to actually give us proof, is because it's so difficult to find proof when you look at everything differently in different sections of science. It makes it so difficult because it's deliberate. It's literally compartmentalized. It's just like military. Think about it. This is all about brainwashing. We need to learn about brainwashing. That's what this is. It's brainwashing 101. It's repeating the same thing over and over and over until people just start believing it. It's literally that easy. It really is.
Incessant gaslighting.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers,
So
Aru.
I've been brainwashed.
Yes, and then the dumb arguing and the goofy things and switching back and forth. It just makes it to where people don't want to know the truth. They just don't care anymore because they're just tired of hearing all the arguments and it not leading to any truth. Right? That's why we try to bring the proof instead of the arguments, because the arguments are just arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Their opinions, we all know about opinions, right? They're like our butthole.
Yeah. So what specifically can we actually talk about? What other disagreements do globies and flat earthers have?
Like all of physics.
What is it?
Well, no, I think you're right.
I would like to ask, how can you guys false equivocate acceleration to gravity?
F equals ma.
Yeah, force causes a mass to accelerate, but how does that equivocate to gravity, though?
Right.
If you exceeded the speed of light, would you catch up to yourself?
If I what?
If you went the speed of light, if you managed to hurl your body in a direction at the speed of light, would you be able to look back and see yourself if you passed the speed of light? Would another of you appear? Like, think about that. Because light bounces and it's always refracting or reflecting off something, right? In order for you to see it, get it? So think about that. That kind of makes things different.
I don't know. I'm not well versed in relativity, but I can.
It adds a math problem that you couldn't possibly ever figure out. Let's put it that way.
Well, you can't. No, an object with mass can't go the speed of light that we know of.
Okay, but we could take a piece of wood or a floor and measure it and make sure that it's level, and then do these same demonstrations of rising and lowering and putting things in the foreshadowing, right, and showing how they change. And they do exactly the same way on a flat surface. But when you use a curved surface, it changes completely differently. It doesn't even match up at all. But you're claiming that it does. It somehow does, even though none of us have seen it, and you don't have pictures of it unless it's some kind of, tube thing, video, or some lens effect.
Here's a great thought experiment on the speed of light. Okay, so if I stood in one place and I put another person, let's just say 5 light seconds away, that's still going to be a pretty good distance, but 5 light seconds, and both of us are holding on to one end and the other of a rod. Okay, this is all just hypothetical, and I pull that rod. Is it going to take 5 seconds for the other guy to feel that rod move?
Yes. Actually, I do know that. Yes, because the forces in between molecules act at the speed of light.
Do you have any proof of that? I mean, that's a nice hypothesis.
No, that's a good thought experiment, and I've thought of that about that before. I'm sure you could find it. I mean, Google, you can like search up, on Google Scholar or, just on Google about that. I mean, I don't
know. Do you know how Google is assembled, like where the information comes from? Are you aware of how that works?
Yeah, this is horseshit, people.
So where should I get my information from?
I could literally make up a story about something like phlogiston. I could just bring phlogiston into this argument, right? I could just argue that phlogiston is the reason why things burn, okay? I don't know if you've ever heard of this theory, but it used to be how we used to talk about why things burn. We didn't talk about oxygen and all that. We just talked about how phlogiston was the reason why. But that doesn't make any sense, right? It's just a replacement to understand it so that we can analyze it and we can talk about it and that you'll understand on a level of cognizance, right? That's what that's for. That's what science is about. It's about being able to understand things on the same wavelength in your brain, right? Like I can't compare, like if I take a board and I measure the board at 6 feet long and it's perfectly flat and I measure it and I show you that in whatever ways I need to, then we're not going to argue about whether or not the board's curved now, are we? So then now if we do an experiment with a camera on a board and I can show you that things actually do disappear from the bottom up on a 6-foot board with a camera put in the right position. Now, will that convince you that you're probably just seeing shit and it's not real? It's just what you see. It doesn't mean it's real. It's just how it compresses when you look at it from a distance and you add all that stuff up. Your eyes can't see all that light at the same time. It only sees like a fraction of a second of it. You see what I'm saying? So what you're seeing is a reflection and that's just how it works. But light moves in waves too. So it does cause some effects and it does change the way you see things. So everything is apparent for that reason. That's why they explain it that way. And that's why science explains everything and they have these names. That's why they have words like line. That's what a line is. A line is a straight line. It's just a line. It's like when you take a rope and you pull it taut. That's a line. Got it? And it's an infinite line, right? There is no curved line. If it's curved, then it's not a line. You understand? It's things about description and things that they just are. And that's what science says. That's what we agree with. But then when you take those same things and you mix them up wrong, then somebody's going to be like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. And so there's got to be a question here. Who the hell decides what all this is and how it works? Well, science does, right? So, and who's in control of that? Well, our governments, because they're the ones who write the stuff and put it in the books and force us to learn it, right? So now we're stuck with this thing where we're being forced to believe these things, and each one of our countries teaches us different things in order to persuade us to stick with their country. Think about that. That means that we're all being tricked, whether we want to believe it or not. It's actually true. It's not a joke. It's not some kind of like theory. It's not. It's the truth. They are using this stuff against us. And we have to realize that our brains are susceptible to it. And we have to figure out how they're doing it instead of arguing about why things don't look right. You know what I'm saying? Like we should move beyond this. I really think. Yeah. But at the same time, this is how we reach everyone,
Unwarranted trust in academic authority. This is where the problems are arising. I went in, exactly. You can go into Google right now and ask it, say, what causes atmospheric pressure? And that damn thing's going to tell you gravitational acceleration of air to the earth. And we know that's not true because a barometer will work on its side, upside down, canted 45 degrees. It doesn't matter. It's measuring the displacement, not pushing down of air. Yet your online resources are going to tell you that cockamamie shit.
Yeah.
and it's categorically and provably false.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Roger Leisure says, play Ben's latest video. I know this is also on that. I see now it's on that 157 mile video, which we just watched, the flat horizon. I haven't watched his video yet, though. So I don't know. You guys want to see what Ben has to say about it, Taboo Conspiracy?
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Yeah, I've seen this one. It came out yesterday.
The one I showed now from Don Records.
Yeah.
The 253 kilometer, but now I see he's got it on as well. So I want to just see what he says about it there.
Okay.
Thanks for the super chat, mate. For the music. Just in case for the music.
Can you make that a little bit bigger for people?
I can maybe do it like this. Whoop.
Yeah, it's better. It's better. Yeah, it gets rid of our thing. Yeah, it's better. So a bit smaller, a bit bigger.
Whoa. Music. My arch nemesis, music.
I don't get in trouble for doing.
Come on, Ben. Onboard camera used fisheye lens.
Although, honestly, if I wrote a song and it was a cool song and everybody copied it and used it on their show, I think I'd be happy about it. I don't think I'd be pissed off.
Yeah. Okay, he's just playing the whole video that we already showed, so he didn't comment on it or anything. Okay.
I think Shakespeare had it right. Kill all the lawyers first, okay? I mean, for real. If it wasn't for these guys getting all crazy about, oh, you played over 10 seconds of somebody else's song, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't even get that shit, man. Like dude said, I'd be flattered. Be like, wow.
It has to do with having money involved. And because he accepts money in this particular show, then there's a rule against it. That's why, because you could use, I mean, I guess they're saying that you could use their product in order to get you popularity or something, and that somehow screwed them out of money on it.
Yeah, it was the song. It was the song, not the content.
Monetization. That's what I was trying to think of. It's monetization that makes the difference. If you weren't monetized, if you were just talking, then it wouldn't.
I think research. He says he wrote a paper on it. Well, where did you put the paper on, mate? Is it just on his channel, maybe?
Yeah, I was asking about that.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, we're definitely curious if you guys know.
I haven't seen his paper yet. So.
Another thing about this is that we got to remember is we have more power than any government does because there's so many of us and because we can communicate. We can tell each other the truth. And as long as we're testing things out and showing people the truth of it, not just arguing and saying that I'm right, but showing why that's true. And when that logically makes sense, then people believe it and they know it. They don't just believe it, they know it. Like you can learn things and like I've come to know things that you wouldn't believe me, trust me, but I've seen them and I'm telling you they're true. So the only way I could show you is if you come and meet me and I show you what I saw, right? That's what we need to do is show people. Instead of doing arguing, we need to be showing. Yeah, well, I know, but I'm saying we need to do more of it and do it better. You know what I'm saying?
What we got to do is you got to get these people out of this brainwashing of this unwarranted trust in authoritative figures, in authoritative academia. You can show them that stuff and they'll say, yeah, but Wiki says, or Google says. Well, Google and Wiki are fucking wrong. I'm sorry. You know, that's what's happening right here. I've had to explain this to people a million times. You know, you can Google and they'll tell you that men can get pregnant. We know that's not true.
Of course. Ridiculous.
Is my physics textbook wrong? I have multiple physics textbooks. Are they all wrong?
In what respect?
I was going to say,
well, a lot of them. Well, yeah. So a lot of them, all of them will agree that the Earth is round or a sphere.
Yes, they're wrong. It's wrong.
But so is everything in the textbook wrong, or only some?
How do they show you that that's true?
Let me put it this way, Scott. Crows are black birds. Does that mean that all black birds are crows? No, it doesn't.
No.
The best lies are interspersed with bits of truth to make it seem credible. You understand?
Absolutely.
So some of the physics is true.
I would say that it's necessary to have that. Otherwise, it's not believable.
Demonstrable physics. Theoretical physics are just that. It's just Donkey Kong bullshit somebody made up in their mind. That's theoretical physics.
No,
Actual physics are undeniable. They're testable, repeatable, and observable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so at one point, relativity was, and I know you guys are going to call bullshit on this, but relativity was once a theoretical concept, but at some point there were some experiments done and it was proven true. And there's research papers on this, and I don't have them on me, but I've read them. And
what experiment done?
So there's been multiple probes that have gone close to the sun, and relativity says that the closer you get to a massive object, the slower time ticks.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
What is what?
You really think you're seeing millions of miles into space, bro? Come on, give me a break.
But you see, that's the thing that we.
I mean, I have a telescope.
Guys are going to Narnia to prove Narnia.
I mean, so what? So then, what? So there's thousands of. Well, my telescope says otherwise, but there's thousands of engineers.
I can prove it.
Right?
Use your telescope to look across the bay, or look across a distance where there's a hill, or there's a gap, or there's a valley, and I guarantee you're not seeing that far, bro. You're only seeing maybe 20 miles if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And don't tell me that when you look up, it's different, because it's not. It's the same atmosphere or whatever you want to call it.
How do you measure something with a telescope?
Parallax. You can use parallax.
No, you're not measuring with parallax. You cannot measure. You can only calculate. You're calculating
the actual what you're saying.
You're calculating based on assumed sizes, assumed distances, and it all stems from the assumed astronomical unit.
An assumption,
which I'm sure a lot of math went into calculating.
Yeah,
like the thing you guys say that like
all the way from 3 million to 93 million.
I know it seems like we're minimizing it, but think about it, bro. You got to think about it. Read the stuff that you, like I said, if you're really reading these papers, then you should be starting to figure it out on your own. We shouldn't have to be telling you.
Well, that's right. When you pick out that which can be proven and actually demonstrated from that which is nothing more than conjecture and hypothesis, you find that there is absolutely no meat to it whatsoever. You might as well be getting a degree in Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
love
mean,
that analogy.
I struggle with my physics homework every night, and I don't think that's Dungeons and Dragons. I can show you my physics homework. I guarantee you guys.
The reason why that is because it's going against your mental truth. Trust me, man. Think about it. If you were learning about some transgender crap or whatever, and you don't agree with that, you'd be like, "What? I don't want to believe." You'd be mad, right? You'd be angry. You'd be physically and mentally challenged by that, right? You'd be like, "No, I don't want to sit through this." You know what I'm saying? It's like making somebody sit down and watch some gross movie that they don't want to watch. You know what I mean? Think about that. Just think about what you're saying.
Well, I'm not learning about transgender or whatever. I'm learning about physics and math and chemistry. That's what I signed up to.
I apologize for that, but it popped up on the screen and it popped into my head as an actual an analogy. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not a gender studies major. It's like one of the most useless degrees ever.
I just say Flats, missing research says he can't post these like whatever you asked for, because he's obviously not mod.
Oh, it's linked.
There it is. Yeah, there you go.
I'm missing research. You know what's going to be the best? Email it to me on flatzoid@gmail.com, and then I can get the link that way. It'd be great to see it up. Maybe you can come on the channel sometime. We can have a chat about it. Yeah, because missing research is actually awesome, guys.
Now here's you see that we started with Copernicus at 3 million miles. Then Tycho Brahe comes out with 13 million miles, and just so happens that after Kepler murdered Tycho Brahe, he came up with 13 million miles as well. Then Newton did 28, and then he had a second attempt where he almost had to double it. That's kind of suspicious. Then we got a guy named Martin in 1754, because it's so easy to just calculate the distance of the sun. You just triangulate it, right? Okay. So then we got 81 to 82 million. Then by 1869, another guy upped it another 14 million. Right? He went up another 14 million. And then some guy named Meyer says, no, we're at 104 million. And then this other guy, our ball, had to come out and say, no, it's about 92 or 93. And Newton is actually quoted as saying, whether it be 13 million or 28 million, it serves our purpose. Now, what the hell kind of scientific statement is that? What purpose does it serve?
It's not science, you see, but that's the thing.
That's
what I try to get with Craig as well when he says it's all consistent. It just gets more accurate. That's not consistency.
There's a big difference between 3 million and 93 million. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the 3 million was done by an ancient Greek guy. Like, what the hell did he know? He didn't know anything.
Okay, there's a big difference.
Well, wait, according to you guys, they knew everything. Some guy went out with his assistant feces and measured fucking sticks and shadows, communicating over 500 miles somehow. Right? And those guys were accurate. A bunch of guys sitting around in a bathhouse talking about balls, they were accurate. But when it comes to this, they were
notably gay.
Well, obviously. No, I mean, the Greeks theorized about atoms, little little molecules that make up everything, but they were completely wrong about it.
It's not actual physical science.
What, atoms and stuff?
Philosophy.
You've already seen what we know. The cells. You've seen cells, right? You look through a microscope. That's what you see. Anything beyond that is just assumption. Trust me.
Look, this is what we try to explain when Jared. This is what we try to explain when Jared and them were on Soft Show. The atomic model works fine for explanation, but you got no proof that it's actually real. You can use the model in everyday life, just like we can use Newtonian gravity model for physics today. That doesn't make it real. It's just the model that works. The model doesn't make it reality.
So you guys don't believe in atoms? I'm confused.
No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying it's just.
I'm not saying that. I don't know, but I'm saying I haven't seen an atom with my own eyes, so I don't know. I mean, if you showed it through a microscope, then I might believe you. But if you're telling me that I need some kind of computer microscope in order to see it, then now I'm starting to wonder why the hell you need a computerized microscope in order to see it. Maybe because it doesn't exist.
Like an electron microscope
on me, I don't know. I mean, or maybe, I don't know. Have you ever looked and see how they work? They're very interesting.
Yeah, they are.
It's on theological fringe science. That's what it's all based on. So you tell me, is it true or is it not?
I mean, I believe it to be true.
If it's based on theological science, do you really believe that that's how it works, or do you think that you just?
Well, the thing is that like
I want you to know. Think about it.
Well, the thing is that like many, you can do chemical reactions with atoms and like different amounts of chemicals.
And so you get reactions. So and therefore those reactions mean something. Okay, so show me them.
So that's supposed to be a strontium. That's supposed to be a strontium atom in between those two little pins in there.
Oh, I've seen this photo. Yeah.
Let me put the link in there so y'all can see it as well.
Yeah. There's 3 different kinds of electron microscope, by the way.
But
I think there's 3.
Yeah, it's what I saw that and I just laughed. I
laughed my butt off. I was like, wow, that's interesting stuff.
What is that? It's this little dot right in here. Now I'm looking at the size of that dot that I can see with my naked eyes. I'm comparing it to these screws, which are obviously much bigger than an atom and made up of billions of these little atoms. But this one right here is isolated and I can see it. What?
Yeah, but don't you think they thought of that like that?
No.
That's like I'm sure.
No.
So you think all these people went to?
I think that they just put out bullshit and these hopeful idiots will eat it up like candy.
Yep. Remember,
but you might be one of those people.
Remember, this electron is said to be big enough to be able to see. So it's not even what's claimed to be the right size. So it's literally just, let's put bullshit up and people must just believe it. How do you even know that is electron what you're seeing in the first instance?
We don't.
I mean, I guess there's no way to know it. But like, the thing is that I'm sure they didn't just put out a picture and say, "Oh, this is an atom." I'm sure there's a long explanation as to why.
No, they probably thought it out. Yeah, but obviously it was thought out, and but Think about that. They're a lot smarter than us.
Yeah. So have you read the
That's what we're trying to say.
explanation?
Is like,
Have
I
you
read
read the
some of it,
explanation?
but like I said, I read some of it, yes, but I don't get too far into stuff like that when it comes to fringe
Well,
science. It's just not worth
so
my
then
argument.
if you can't get too far into the actual science, then
Well, I haven't, but
what
I
are
know
you
people
to
that
say
have.
then that it's not real? Like I'm not
Well,
sitting here
honestly,
denying.
if you're trying to convince me of something, then I mean, I guess, why are you here? I have to ask that question if that's where you're going to go with it. Because I mean, like if you're coming here to try to tell me I'm wrong because you hear me talking about it, then you're not showing me any evidence, but I'm showing you all kinds of evidence to show you that they're full of shit and that they're just lying to you and they're using this stuff to confuse us. And it's really easy to do because it's so confusing. Like just by itself. Think about law. I mean, law by itself. I mean, it's so hard to understand. I mean, half the time people will tell you things are true and the other time they tell you it's not. And people will tell you all kinds of things, but who do you believe, right? You have to test it yourself. So that's what it comes down to. Test it yourself. I've gone there and trust me, I just don't trust anything that I can't touch and look at myself. If I have to go buy some $10,000 toy just to prove it, then it seems like bullshit to me. I'm just saying that's just where I go. Sorry.
Well, that's kind of the point of science was to do experiments so you don't have to do them for yourself. And because an electron microscope is millions of dollars probably, and not everyone can do that. So then you publish the results, and people read that, go, oh, that makes sense, or oh, that doesn't make sense. And plenty of research papers have been published where people say that doesn't make sense, and it's been proven wrong.
Scott, that's exactly what the Catholic Church did with the Bible, right? You don't need to read it because we're learned and we've already figured out what it says, and so you listen to what we tell you. That
when they finally did, they needed some kind of like organization, like all these scholars to come together and figure it out.
Jesuits.
Think about it, yeah. And then they decided to cut out some books and things that may or may not be important. Think about that too.
I mean, I've never
it does exist, by the way.
Much of the Bible.
The Jesuits infiltrated all of the universities and the sciences and have pushed this nonsense in order to discredit the Bible. Yes, to discredit the Bible, so that the authority of the church, the authority of Rome, would reign supreme over that of the Bible. This is why they were burning people at the stake for translating it and shit. They didn't want anybody questioning their authority. And so if they put things out of the hands of a common man, can we really trust what the authorities are giving us? I mean, they've really got a shitty track record so far.
Well, look at this. Okay, this is the conclusion of this.
I'm not saying the Bible isn't true. What I'm saying is that they've taken things out of it and they've augmented it. That's what's important.
But I mean, if you look at like this paper where they give the conclusions on how science really is today, in the culture of research, errors committed in a published article are very adverse to the professional reputation, both of researcher who wrote it and the journal in which it was published. So it is quite unlikely for an error to live undetected for more than a year or two. Quite contrary, the life of textbook errors in the teaching practice is much longer. Some century errors are still present in century textbooks. Especially disturbing case is the presence of those physics errors after they were widely denounced in pedagogical and educational journals. No profession can be considered accomplished and standing on a firm ground if the critical minds of the practitioners are sleepy and the errors, even trivial ones measured by professional standards, are more likely to stay than to go away. This is just saying they literally, even if they have errors, they still keep them in the textbooks. That's why they still teach Newtonian gravity today, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, Newtonian gravity is it's very accurate to an extent.
Yeah.
But okay, so you guys say that scientists just make up bullshit all the time. So then, like,
they don't make it up; they get taught it, dude. Just like we do. Think about it. We're not saying that they just come on.
It's all about publishing.
You're making it sound ridiculous to make us.
Well, you guys just said that they made it up.
I said the people who put it out made it up, but the people who are acting in science, they don't know that. How would you know if you were just reading science book and you believe what they put in there, right? It's not necessarily some kind of organized art crime family, dude. It's just we've all been tricked. That's what I'm saying. It's all bullshit. That's what I'm saying.
So you're thinking that so you believe that they're thinking that they're doing actual science, but in reality, they're not doing anything.
They're chasing their
Maybe
tail.
yes. I don't know. Yeah, it depends on the situation and the type of science, of course. But
so you think the scientists are in on it?
Let me put it this way: if you were a detective and you're investigating a caper, okay, and you take someone that you believe to be a reliable source of information, and they give you some information and you act on it, and this information was erroneous, and you keep chasing this information, meanwhile going down the wrong path to find the culprit of the caper because you've been led astray. Are you going to make any real advancements in your investigation? No, you're not. Not at all. So the trusting of a source, that you got to get off of that. You have to, everything should be treated with skepticism. This is the entire nature of science, is to be skeptical of that which you've been told, and then you find the absolute truth. If I go trusting in people that were eating mercury and were in
lead and whatever,
I mean, I'm already behind the 8 ball right off the bat. And why do I trust these people? Merely because my academic sources have revered them as some special entity that did some kind of a great thing for mankind, when in reality they were, most of them, just crackpot criminal people. They really were.
well, they're just people like you and me, but they get picked. Yeah,
I'm not a criminal. I don't lie to people. I have a conscience.
well, you know what I mean. I'm saying that they were people just like us, and they got recruited into it and they got stuck. You know what I mean? Like I assume that most people that are involved in it probably didn't choose to. They got tricked into it, or they got framed into it, or whatever. But then once they realize it's true, then of course, what do? I mean, you're fighting against the whole system, right?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Newton didn't even want to be associated with this bullshit.
He found it a nine absurdity that anybody with a faculty of
he knew that we were wrong. Yep.
Yeah. And they waited till he died, and then they ascribed it to him.
Yes.
So I just want to say thank you for your $2 super chat. Larger label again. He
I've
says,
been rolling in my grade.
prime example, it ends in 19. So the times are different. Yeah. Thank you very much for your super chat, man. Really appreciate it, Roger. You rock.
Yeah, well, Newton was kind of nuts. I mean, he was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
that whole story of him with the apple, it's right in your face, and you don't even see it, man. That really didn't
That's symbolism.
Happen. That's symbolism,
apple,
man.
Yeah.
It's the fruit of the tree of knowledge. You see what's going on right there?
Yes,
the whole
do you get it? Yeah, it's a
big... it's come on, man. It's right in your face.
Yeah, it's a like that.
So what about like math though? What about like calculus? You guys know any calculus?
Yeah, but math's just
but
descriptive.
I'm not. I have no degrees.
Yeah, but math is just descriptive.
I have a THC.
Yeah, but math describes the world really well. That's kind of that was the whole point of math, was to describe the physical world.
Yeah, but if I make a mathematical equation that describes pixie dust unicorns can survive in Antarctica in a parallel universe, it can describe it to a T, but that doesn't make it reality, though.
Sure, but then what happens when those equations are? Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, no, because I'm just gonna say what happens when those equations are used in like spacecraft, but the spacecraft are fake, I guess. So, what is that music?
Yeah. Have you seen one?
Have I seen what? A spacecraft?
Have you seen a UFO, and have you seen aliens pop out of one? Yes or no?
I have never seen an alien, unfortunately. Although I do believe they're out there. There's got to be
either. So until then, I'm not going to believe it. I'm just saying that's just me.
So that's another good argument I want to bring up. So I live kind of close to the Kennedy Space Center, and I see the rockets go up all the time. It's gotten to the point where a launch is not even like a big deal anymore. So what do you guys think about the launches? Like, I'm just curious.
Launch?
Yeah, they launch them up. They launch up.
Where do they go?
They curve over and they head off toward the Bermuda Triangle, little place called Point Nemo. You're not allowed to go there.
Nemo, yeah. Think about it. What is Nemo?
That you
Nemo
guys
is the
have
name
no
for
proof of that.
Yeah, Point Nemo is like the most isolated place on Earth. That no one
I've heard of Point Nemo.
is
Yeah.
going to know it's there.
It's a
There's no
military
evidence.
off-limit zone, basically.
None.
That's why I find it interesting that Disney put out a movie called Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And the allegory in the movie was that the father was saving the son from his own mother, because the mother usually eats the eggs and kills him.
Hidden in plain sight.
That'll really mess your mind up when you realize what it's really about. Yeah, it's really kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So then,
It's worse
so
than just
so now,
it's
but
worse
no,
than
I want
that.
to ask a
Mind
follow-up
control.
question. I want to ask a follow-up question.
We've got, unfortunately, only got like 2-3 minutes, and then I'm going to have to end because the power's about to go off.
Oh, no.
So yeah, make your question.
Yeah, South Africa sucks.
So then, what are the engineers working on? Are they oblivious to the rocket going into the ocean as well, or is there a team of engineers that makes it go into the ocean, and then a team of engineers that thinks that they're actually working on a spacecraft?
Let's put it this way: if you have to do your calculations for an orbit that's not really there, okay?
Uh-huh.
Do you think it's gonna get to where it's claimed to be for the orbit if it's not actually? So you can put all the calculations and think, okay, it's going to give me that orbit. In the meantime, it's not going there because the trajectory is still going in the right position.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is it's going in the ocean, not going out to space.
So they think it's going into space, but it's in reality it's going into the ocean.
The only thing they have are, you got 20 or 30 guys sitting there in front of computer monitors, okay? And they've already run simulations on these. You're used to it, right? So this thing's running a program.
They got trained to believe that those machines are telling them this stuff.
Right, exactly. How do they know that that's actual information coming from this thing that they supposedly set up and not just another simulation? They don't. Okay, so
When there's a large group of people will just go along with it.
And they'll freak out and they'll jump up and down and shit like that. But that's all they have as far as evidence that the thing went up, was what they saw on their computer screen. And they're all seeing different bits of the data. That's all they're seeing. They're not watching this thing up.
And it's
going
simulated
up
data. And it's simulated data. That's all. Yeah, it's just compartmentalization.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting a contract for the bolts for the shuttle or for the paint, or you're getting someone that's doing the wiring, you believe it's going where you think it's going. It doesn't really make
Can I ask
it go
a question? Do you think the Harlem Globetrotters is a real basketball team?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a good question, my friend.
Well, anyway, sorry guys, unfortunately I have to be rude and say we have to close off.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good to have you on Scott and Luch.
Yeah,
Thank
decent conversation.
Yeah, thanks for coming on with us.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Right there.
I had to switch from my iPad to my computer because my iPad wasn't cooperating with me.
So that's why you've gone from being a flat earther back to Luca. Oh.
I don't have a funny name anymore.
You got Mandela affected, guys.
Good job. I didn't like the funny name anyway. I liked Luca. It's your name. It's work. My name's Ryan. That's why I leave it Ryan, even though I am Cookie Monster. People know me as Rookie, whatever. But, you know, I am who I am.
Yeah, my name's definitely better.
Yeah, it was good having you guys on. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys then tomorrow night for the last stream of the week.
Right on.
Awesome.
So, Dave, you want to quickly plug your stream for later?
Yeah, I'll be on again tonight at 9:35 Eastern for second half of the review of Flatzoid's debate with Fight the Fat Ass, and hopefully we got through 47 minutes. We got through 47 minutes last night. Hopefully we'll get through some more tonight. Maybe Joe Cool won't show up and derail shit, but he's always a source of entertainment, though. You have to admit.
Can I come on?
Yes, absolutely, Luca.
Of course.
Is it on WeStream or?
Well, if he shows up, I
use StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Yeah. StreamYard. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same
thing. Will you post
thing.
a link in chat?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
All right.
No, Luch, you have to smell the link. You have to telepathically.
Yeah, you have to You have to memorize it by just looking at it on the page and then blink your eyes 3 times and you'll have it.
You need to type the entire thing out yourself.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you all. It was nice to actually have the discussion to get it a bit more exciting. But yeah, do go subscribe to the guy. I got the link in the description. He does want to chat.
Cool. With this particular
I just subscribed.
Awesome. And hello to everybody else. Thank you for coming. I'll see you guys all tomorrow night for an